On a crisp, clear evening on Mars, the city of New Phoenix buzzed with the energy of a community thriving under two suns. As the local time approached the second sunset, a group of children, Mia, Jackson, and Zoe, ventured beyond the familiar neon glow of their neighborhood to explore the sprawling red dunes that bordered their city. The trio, armed with nothing but their boundless curiosity and a shared old telescope, aimed to spend the evening stargazing. Mars' sky, a tapestry of more stars than they could ever count, beckoned to them with mysteries of the cosmos. Their laughter and excited chatter echoed softly, blending with the whispering winds that swept over the Martian landscape. As twilight deepened, Jackson, the eldest and most adventurous, spotted something unusual, a soft, pulsating glow emanating from behind a small hill. "Look over there," he pointed out, his voice a mix of excitement and intrigue. The children, driven by a blend of thrill and a dash of youthful recklessness, raced towards the light. Cresting the hill, they paused, breathless, not just from their run, but from the sight before them. Nestled in a shallow crater was a creature unlike any they had seen or learned about in school. It was small and curled up, its body covered in iridescent blue fur that seemed to shimmer with its own inner light. The creature's large, round eyes opened slowly, glowing a soft yellow, reflecting the stars above. Mia, ever the compassionate one, approached cautiously. "Hey, little guy, are you okay?" she whispered, extending a hand. To their astonishment, the creature uncurled slightly, its fur rippling with colors as if responding to her voice. Zoe, who had brought her gadget pack, quickly pulled out a portable scanner, a tool she borrowed from her scientist parents. "Let's see what you are," she murmured, intrigued by the biological enigma before them. The scanner hummed quietly, unable to classify the creature. It was clear they had found something extraordinary, possibly alien. Realizing the gravity of their discovery, the children decided they couldn't leave the creature out here alone and vulnerable. "We should take him back with us. He looks scared and—" "I think he's cold," Jackson noted, observing how the creature snuggled into Mia's palm for warmth. With a nod of agreement, they gently wrapped the alien in Zoe's spare jacket, creating a makeshift pouch. As they made their way back to the city, the creature peeked out, its eyes wide with wonder and perhaps a hint of gratitude. The city lights grew brighter as they approached home, their minds buzzing with questions and excitement. Little did they know their discovery would soon ripple through their community, altering their lives and possibly the future of interplanetary relations. Once back in the safety of Mia's family's spacious home, the children gathered in the brightly lit kitchen, their alien guest still wrapped snugly in Zoe's jacket. Mia's mother, Dr. Lena Tran, a biologist at the Martian Colonial Institute, was the first adult to lay eyes on the creature. "What have you kids brought home this time?" Lena asked, her tone a mix of amusement and concern, accustomed to her daughter's penchant for rescuing stray animals. "It's not a pet, Mom. It's an alien, I think," Mia replied earnestly, her eyes wide with a mixture of fear and excitement. As Lena carefully examined the creature, her scientific curiosity took over. She noted the luminous fur, the creature's calm but curious demeanor, and the subtle changes in its fur's coloration responding to voices and touch. "This is no ordinary animal, certainly not from Mars or Earth. We need to contact the authorities about this. It could be important," Lena concluded, her voice tinged with awe. Mia pleaded, "Can it stay with us tonight? It seems so scared." Lena looked into the creature's gentle, glowing eyes and nodded, unable to turn away a creature so evidently gentle and in need. They named him Spark for his fur that twinkled like the stars. That night, after setting up a comfortable nesting area in Mia's room, Lena took various non-invasive scans and sent the data to her colleagues at the Institute for immediate analysis. The news spread quickly through the scientific community. By morning, representatives from the Galactic Zoological Society, GZS, were at their doorstep, eager to learn more about the mysterious visitor. Dr. Haruto Nguyen, a leading exobiologist, led the team with a palpable excitement. "Dr. Tran, we've reviewed your initial scans, and we're intrigued, to say the least. This being is unlike any other life form we've cataloged. Dr. Nguyen explained as his team set up portable labs in Lena's garage, transforming it into a makeshift research station. The GZS team worked diligently, conducting gentle tests to understand Spark's biological structure, dietary needs, and cognitive abilities. Spark, surprisingly cooperative, seemed to sense the importance of their efforts. His fur displayed a mesmerizing array of colors, each hue shifting with his moods and interactions. Meanwhile, the children were given the opportunity to participate, helping the scientists with simple tasks and spending time with Spark during breaks to keep him calm. Spark bonded with them, especially Mia, whose presence seemed to emit a soothing blue tone from his fur. As the day progressed, it became clear that Spark was far from just a biological curiosity. His ability to levitate small objects around him hinted at a complex physiological makeup, possibly involving electromagnetic or psychic capabilities. This creature doesn't just represent a new species. He might represent a new frontier in our understanding of life in the cosmos, Dr. Nguyen remarked, his eyes gleaming with possibilities as he watched Spark interact with the children. By the end of the second day, Spark had not only won over the hearts of the children and Dr. Tran, but also ignited a beacon of scientific wonder among the members of the GZS. The preliminary findings were promising, suggesting Spark was healthy and adapting well to his new environment. The decision was made to keep Spark at the Tran residence under observation, with plans to gradually introduce him to a wider circle within the scientific community and beyond. The unexpected arrival of Spark continued to captivate not only the Tran family, but also the broader scientific community. As news of his presence spread, the Martian Colonial Institute, where Dr. Lena Tran worked, dedicated a section of their next conference to discuss Spark's discovery. This session attracted experts in xenobiology, astrophysics, and other fields, all eager to glean insights from this unprecedented encounter. Dr. Nguyen and his team from the Galactic Zoological Society, GZS, remained at the forefront of the research. They set up a more sophisticated laboratory in a secured area of the institute, equipped with advanced imaging and sensory equipment to better understand Spark's unique abilities and biological makeup. Despite the flurry of scientific activity, they ensured that Spark's well-being was prioritized, allowing him regular breaks and continued interaction with Mia, Jackson, and Zoe, who were now seen as his primary caretakers and friends. In these more controlled conditions, Spark demonstrated remarkable intelligence and emotional sensitivity. He quickly learned to respond to basic commands, and even started to mimic some human words, much to everyone's delight. His ability to levitate objects was studied through non-invasive magnetic resonance imaging, revealing a complex network of bioelectromagnetic fields within his body. As Spark's understanding of human language grew, so did his ability to communicate. Using a modified keyboard designed by the Institute's tech team, Spark began to press keys that lit up with different symbols, each corresponding to a basic need or emotion. This breakthrough was a monumental step in interspecies communication. Dr. Tran and her colleagues published their initial findings in a leading scientific journal, sparking a global discussion about the implications of extraterrestrial life forms living among us. The potential for further discoveries about Spark's home planet and its culture brought about a wave of excitement and speculation. Amidst the growing scientific buzz, the Galactic Council, an interstellar body governing space exploration and alien contact protocols, reached out to the GZS. They proposed a collaborative project to trace Spark's origins using the data gathered from his biological markers. This project aimed not only to discover his home, but also to ensure that his species was not endangered. The children, deeply involved with Spark's daily care, found themselves at the heart of these discussions. Their unique bond with Spark allowed them to provide insights that were crucial for his comfort and well-being. Mia, Jackson, and Zoe prepared presentations for the scientific community, sharing their first-hand experiences and observations of Spark's behavior and preferences. During one high-profile meeting, while the children presented, Spark interacted with the attendees, his fur shimmering in hues that reflected his mood, ranging from calm blues and greens to excited purples. The scientists were amazed by the emotional spectrum he displayed, which was far more nuanced than they had initially expected. The chapter closes with the scientific community standing at the brink of a new frontier, driven by the promise of further exploration and understanding of Spark's alien biology. The children, proud and protective of their new friend, looked forward to the adventure ahead, hopeful that they could help Spark find his way back home. As weeks turned into months, Spark's presence in the Tran household became a new normal. The once mysterious alien had now become a beloved member of the family and a local celebrity in New Phoenix. Spark's interactions with Mia, Jackson, and Zoe evolved from simple games and learning exercises to more complex emotional exchanges and shared experiences. Mia discovered that Spark loved music. One afternoon, while she practiced her piano lessons, Spark's fur illuminated in sync with the melody, creating a mesmerizing light show. Realizing his interest, Mia began to include music in their daily routine, playing different genres and observing Spark's reactions. His favorite turned out to be classical music, particularly the soothing sounds of Chopin and Debussy, which turned his fur into a soft, tranquil blue. Jackson, who had a knack for engineering, crafted small gadgets for Spark to interact with. Among them was a floating ball that Spark could control with his levitation abilities. This not only became a fun activity, but also a way for Spark to hone his skills. The bond between them strengthened as Jackson patiently taught Spark how to maneuver the ball through obstacle courses he built in the backyard. Zoe, curious about Spark's diet, worked alongside Dr. Tran and the GZS nutritionists to develop a special formula that catered to his unique nutritional needs. She meticulously noted his preferences and how different foods affected his energy levels and fur brightness. This care ensured that Spark remained healthy and vibrant, further deepening the emotional connection between them as he began to visibly flourish. The children also started a blog, Spark Space, to share stories of their daily adventures and discoveries with Spark. The blog quickly gained a following, with people from Earth and other colonies tuning in for updates. This platform not only educated the public about Spark, but also highlighted the universal themes of friendship and compassion. During this time, Spark's emotional intelligence became evident. He started to display distinct responses to the children's feelings. If Mia felt frustrated with her schoolwork, Spark's fur would dim and he'd nuzzle against her, offering comfort. When Jackson celebrated a successful gadget test, Spark's fur sparkled with bright flashes of light, mirroring Jackson's joy. One particularly touching incident occurred when Zoe had a bad day at school, feeling overwhelmed by a project. She came home disheartened, but Spark, sensing her distress, wrapped himself around her shoulders, his fur pulsing gently in calming patterns. It was moments like these that truly underscored the profound bond they had formed with Spark. The chapter concludes with a scene during a community festival, where Spark was the guest of honor. The children showcased Spark's abilities and shared their experiences, emphasizing the importance of interspecies understanding and empathy. The festival ended with a spectacular display of Spark's luminescent fur under the Martian night sky, symbolizing the bright future that awaited them all. As the community applauded, Mia, Jackson, and Zoe stood by Spark, proud of how far they had come together, not just as caretakers, but as true friends. As Spark's fame grew, so did the attention from less benevolent forces. The Intergalactic Corporation for Planetary Exploitation, ICPE, a powerful conglomerate known for its aggressive pursuit of valuable extraterrestrial resources, began to show a keen interest in Spark. Their intentions were far from scientific curiosity. Instead, they viewed Spark as a potential key to unlocking new technologies or powers that could be exploited for profit. The ICPE sent representatives to New Phoenix under the guise of participating in the ongoing research efforts. They proposed a partnership with the Galactic Zoological Society, GZS, to further study Spark, claiming that their resources and technological prowess could accelerate the understanding of Spark's abilities. However, Dr. Nguyen and Dr. Tran, wary of ICPE's notorious reputation, declined their offer, preferring to keep the research under the control of the scientific community. Undeterred, The ICPE began to gather information through less official means. They hired private investigators to surveil the Tran household and the Institute, attempting to uncover weaknesses they could exploit. Their actions didn't go unnoticed for long. Jackson, who had rigged his homemade security gadgets around the house, caught glimpses of suspicious activity on his monitors. Alarmed, Jackson shared his findings with Mia and Zoe. The children decided to increase their precautions and agreed to keep a closer eye on Spark during their daily activities. Dr. Tran, informed of the potential threat, implemented stricter security protocols at home and the Institute. She also contacted the local authorities and the Martian Colonial Security Force, alerting them to the possibility of an attempt to capture Spark. One evening, as the city celebrated another founding day of New Phoenix, the ICPE made their move. Using the festivities as cover, a team of skilled operatives orchestrated a blackout in the part of the city where the Tran family lived. In the confusion, they breached the perimeter of the Tran residence. However, they underestimated the children's preparedness and Spark's perceptiveness. Spark, sensing the danger, alerted the children with a loud, pulsating red glow. Mia, Jackson, and Zoe, along with their parents, quickly enacted an emergency plan they had rehearsed for such an event. They moved Spark to a prearranged, safe location known only to them and a few trusted individuals. As the ICPE agents searched the house, finding it empty, local security forces arrived, alerted by the surveillance systems Jackson had enhanced. Caught in the act, the operatives were arrested, and an investigation into the ICPE's activities was launched. The failed kidnapping attempt brought to light the extent to which some were willing to go to exploit alien life forms. The community rallied around Spark and the Tran family, their support stronger than ever. The incident also prompted the GZS and other scientific bodies to push for new laws protecting extraterrestrial beings residing in human colonies, ensuring they were treated as sentient beings with rights rather than mere objects of curiosity or exploitation. The chapter closes with the family and community reaffirming their commitment to protect Spark, reinforcing their bonds of friendship and their dedication to standing against those who would do harm for their own gain. Spark, safe once again among his friends, glowed a soft, reassuring green, signaling his gratitude and trust. Following the failed kidnapping attempt by the Intergalactic Corporation for Planetary Exploitation, ICPE, the community of New Phoenix tightened security and rallied together, determined to protect Spark from any further threats. Despite these measures, ICPE, frustrated by their previous failure and the subsequent legal scrutiny, planned a more covert operation to capture Spark. One quiet night, using advanced cloaking technology to evade the newly installed security systems, a small team of ICPE agents managed to infiltrate the secure facility where Spark was temporarily housed for his safety. The agents successfully captured Spark, using a specialized containment unit designed to dampen his abilities, including his levitation and color communication. Mia, Jackson, and Zoe, upon discovering Spark's disappearance the following morning, were devastated, but resolved to bring him back. They immediately put into action a rescue plan they had brainstormed after the last abduction attempt, one that relied heavily on their intimate knowledge of Spark's unique abilities and their own local environment. First, they contacted Dr. Nguyen and Dr. Tran, who quickly tracked the faint electromagnetic signals emitted by Spark's containment unit, a feature the ICPE hadn't accounted for. This led them to an abandoned industrial complex on the outskirts of the city, where the ICPE had set up a temporary base. Knowing they couldn't confront the agents directly, the children employed a more stealthy approach. Zoe hacked into the area's old security system, gaining access to camera feeds and disabling certain alarms. Jackson used his engineering skills to create distractions, setting off false alarms in different parts of the complex to draw the agents away from their real target. Mia, carrying a portable device built by Jackson that could disrupt the containment unit's field, made her way to the heart of the complex. With the help of her friends directing her through earpieces, she navigated through shadowy corridors until she reached the room where Spark was held. As she entered, she activated the device, disrupting the containment field. Spark's fur immediately began to glow brightly, pulsing with joy and recognition. Despite his ordeal, he appeared unharmed and quickly levitated a keycard from a nearby table to unlock his cage, a trick Jackson had taught him during their play sessions. Together, Mia and Spark made their way out of the complex, guided by Zoe's surveillance and Jackson's distractions. As they exited, they reunited with Jackson and Zoe, who had prepared their escape vehicle, a modified rover equipped with stealth technology to avoid detection. The successful rescue was a testament to their teamwork, creativity, and deep bond with Spark. The local authorities, alerted to the location by Dr. Tran, arrived to apprehend the remaining ICPE agents and secure the complex. Back home, Spark's return was celebrated not just by the children, but by the entire community. The incident had strengthened their resolve to protect their alien friend and highlighted the importance of vigilance and unity in facing external threats. The chapter concludes with the children and Spark watching the sunset from their favorite hill, the place where they first found him. As they sat together, the tranquility of the moment contrasted sharply with the chaos of the day. They shared a sense of accomplishment and an even deeper connection with Spark, who had once again proven to be much more than just an alien. They considered him family. After the dramatic rescue, Spark seemed to regain his playful and curious nature, yet a lingering sense of restlessness grew within him. Mia, Jackson, and Zoe noticed subtle changes in his behavior. He would often gaze longingly at the stars, his fur shimmering with a mix of colors that spoke of deep longing and sadness. It became apparent to everyone that while Spark cherished his friends and the life he had found on Mars, he also missed his home planet deeply. Dr. Nguyen, recognizing this melancholic shift, proposed using the data they had gathered about Spark's unique biological and electromagnetic signatures to try and locate his home planet. The scientific community rallied around this cause, fueled by a commitment to not only learn more about alien life, but also to ensure the well-being of their newfound friend. The search for Spark's origins became a collaborative interstellar effort. Astrophysicists and xenobiologists from various colonies joined the project, utilizing deep space sensors and satellite arrays to scan distant star systems. They looked for anomalies that matched the unique patterns found in Spark's biological makeup. Meanwhile, linguists and communication experts attempted to decode Spark's communications, hoping to find clues or coordinates embedded in his expressions and interactions. As weeks turned into months, the children stayed by Spark's side, comforting him and engaging with him in activities that seemed to connect him with memories of his home, like creating landscapes similar to his planet based on his reactions to various visual stimuli, and playing sounds that mimicked the ambient noises Spark responded to most vividly. One evening, as Mia played a sequence of soft, melodic tones on her keyboard, sounds that had consistently soothed Spark, a breakthrough came. The Deep Space Monitoring Station on Europa detected an anomalous signal from a distant star system that closely matched Spark's energy patterns. Excitement surged through the team as they refined their focus on this system, confirming that one of its planets had atmospheric and electromagnetic characteristics similar to the conditions needed for Spark's survival. With the potential home planet identified, preparations began for a mission to explore the planet and verify its habitability for Spark's species. The Galactic Council provided a research vessel equipped with the necessary technology for such a voyage, and a team of experts was assembled, including Dr. Nguyen and Dr. Tran. The children were deeply involved in the preparations, helping to design a habitat module for Spark that would make his journey comfortable. They also recorded messages and programmed activities into the ship's computer to keep Spark engaged and comforted during the long travel. As the launch day approached, the community of New Phoenix organized a farewell event for Spark. The festival was bittersweet, filled with performances, art installations inspired by Spark's influence, and speeches about the importance of interstellar empathy and cooperation. Spark, surrounded by his friends and supporters, showed colors of mixed emotions, joy, anticipation, and a touch of sadness. The chapter concludes with the launch of the spacecraft. As it ascended into the Martian sky, Spark's fur glowed brightly, a spectacular display of light that reflected his complex emotions. The children watched tearfully, holding each other's hands, proud of their efforts to return their friend home, but heartbroken to say goodbye. They knew, however, that this was not the end of their journey with Spark, but a new chapter in a larger story of friendship and interstellar discovery. The day of Spark's departure dawned clear and bright on Mars, a stark contrast to the emotional turmoil felt by Mia, Jackson, Zoe, and the entire community of New Phoenix. The spacecraft, gleaming under the Martian sun, stood ready at the launch site, a beacon of hope and technological marvel. The children, along with Dr. Tran and Dr. Nguyen, were there early, making final checks on Spark's habitat module and ensuring that their friend was comfortable and prepared for the journey. As the community gathered, the air was thick with a mix of excitement and melancholy. The launch site became a vibrant tableau, with people wearing colors that mimicked Spark's shimmering fur, a tribute to the friend they were about to send across the stars. The children took turns sharing stories about their adventures with Spark, each tale a testament to the deep bond they had formed. When the time came for final goodbyes, Spark seemed to understand the gravity of the moment. His fur pulsed with deep, resonant colors that no one had seen before, colors that conveyed his gratitude and love. One by one, Mia, Jackson, and Zoe approached Spark, whispering private goodbyes and sharing quiet moments of reflection. Tears were shed, and promises were made, promises to remember and to keep looking up at the stars where Spark would be returning. Dr. Nguyen initiated the countdown, his voice steady but filled with emotion. The engines roared to life, and as the spacecraft lifted off, a trail of brilliant light painted the sky. Spark's journey home was not just a mission of return, but a symbol of the interstellar friendship that had flourished between different worlds. As the ship ascended, the crowd was silent, each person lost in their thoughts, watching as Spark disappeared into the cosmos. Then, as if Spark had left a final gift, the sky above Mars shimmered with an aurora, an incredibly rare event, fueled by cosmic energies that Spark's departure had perhaps stirred. The aurora danced in luminous hues that mirrored Spark's fur, a breathtaking spectacle that left everyone in awe. Months passed, and the mission team kept the community updated on Spark's progress. The journey was long, but the spacecraft was equipped with the best technology to ensure Spark's comfort and safety. Mia, Jackson, and Zoe followed every update, charting the spacecraft's path on a large map they kept in their school. Finally, the day came when the spacecraft reached the distant planet. The first images transmitted back to Mars showed a world of vibrant colors and strange, beautiful landscapes. As the landing pod descended, Spark was visibly excited, his fur glowing intensely. The moment Spark's pod touched the surface, the mission team, along with the children watching from millions of miles away, held their breath. Then the feed showed Spark stepping out onto his home planet. Almost immediately, figures appeared, creatures like Spark, but in varying shades and sizes, rushing towards him with evident joy. The reunion was emotional, even viewed from afar. Spark's family, evident in their similar luminescence and patterns, embraced him, their colors blending in beautiful pulsating rhythms. It was a moment of profound triumph and peace, signaling a successful mission and a new beginning for Spark. Back on Mars, as the broadcast concluded, the children looked up at the night sky, their hearts full. They knew that somewhere out there, Spark was home, and they had helped him get there. Inspired by their journey with Spark, Mia, Jackson, and Zoe decided to dedicate themselves to furthering interspecies understanding and exploration, hopeful for what future friendships across the stars might bring. The chapter, and the story, concludes with the community of New Phoenix celebrating under the Martian sky, watching as another rare aurora lights up the night, a reminder of Spark's legacy and the indelible link between two distant planets, forever changed by one small, extraordinary creature.